Trademark attorney Josh Gerben released on his Twitter that the NFL has filed paperwork to challenge the use of the oil rig in the Houston Roughnecks logo. Quote, the NFL has opposed a trademark application for the XFL's Houston Roughnecks logo. On December 28th, the NFL filed court documents claiming the Roughnecks logo was too similar to the Houston Oilers logo. Perhaps the first of many at XFL versus NFL battles? ? This is because the XFL version of the derrick is similar to that of the old Houston Oilers logo. Now, Gerben, our own Josh Davis, spoke to him that the NFL would have to prove that the XFL's use of the logo hinders their ability to sell Oilers merchandise and that they, the NFL, have the exclusive rights to use the rig. So the question is, why now? Well, this is what Gerben had to say. Quote, procedurally, when you file a trademark application, it goes through the government's review process first. And then once the government approves any trademark for registration, there's a 30-day window that opens up, which anybody that feels they might be damaged by the registration can file an opposition. Close quote. The original opposition was filed December 11th, 2019, when the United States Patent Trademark Office officially published the mark by the XFL on June 30th. The window to oppose was open. That is when the first extension was applied for. So the first extension was filed in July of 2020. The two extensions were subsequently filed during the bankruptcy case, noting that negotiations were taking place. When the league was bought by Danny Garcia, the Rock, and Redbird Capital, the extensions had run out, and now a date has been set by the court for this to move forward. Alpha Apuico, who's like kind of the subsidiary owner of the XFL, has 40 days to respond or the matter will go to court. The date is scheduled for February 6, 2021. Gerben says that this is just an opinion, his opinion. He's not involved in the case at all, in all likelihood that it will not end up in court, but it would instead be settled out of court. Now, this does not mean the case has to go to court, nor does it mean that Danny and The Rock are taking it to trial, simply that the extensions filed by the NFL are exhausted, and now it's time to kind of settle this thing out. According to trademark law, 2 extensions may be filed before the case is set for a trial date. The NFL's standings is that even though the Oilers franchise moved to Tennessee and changed their name, the logo still retains valuable goodwill and customer resignation. Quote, this is from the paperwork. Consumers encountering applicants' mark, particularly in connection with the applicant's services, are likely to associate the mark with opposers based on the similarity of the parties' marks and their respective goods and services, close quote. So in effect, the NFL feels like the XFL's use of the rig could confuse the consumer, believing the two are connected. We will have to see how this plays out. My only question is, while clearly the United States Patent Trademark Office did not have a problem with this in the beginning and approved it, and now we're moving forward because the NFL has a problem with it. So I would assume if there was a problem in the beginning, the Patent Trademark Office, I would assume somebody in there watched football and would know about the Houston Oilers. So that's kind of my take on that, but we'll see how this all plays out. We'll release more information when we know, but hang on to your Houston Roughnecks merch because it might be a thing of the past when the new XFL comes out in 2022. We'll have to find out. Stay tuned.